Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So I figured I would do a get to know me while I prep my nail tips for my next mani. So I'm not a very interesting person, so there's not a lot of fun, exciting things to tell. So on my nail tips, I've been using the peel off base, and it has made it a lot easier. At first, I was having some trouble like getting it started. And then it kinda started getting where it was easier. I don't know what's making the difference, so I'm just, like, have to as long as I get a piece going and then I just kinda tear it off. And I've, not even gotten started, I'm already having interruptions, so I'm hoping I don't lose my train of thought too much. So let's see, um, I was born in 1875, so I'm very, very, very old. I'm joking. So that's a big thing to know about me is I like to cut up and joke around because let's be real, life is hard and if we can laugh a little bit and be silly, it just makes it a little bit more easy to get through for the most part. My kids like to tell me I'm corny. But I'm like, listen, I think corny jokes are the best ones. The simple, silly ones. I mean, they talk about dad jokes. Nah, listen, I have some mom jokes, and I'm like, I tell my kids like, no, look, I'm funny, okay? I make myself laugh. I mean, if you can make yourself laugh, it's you're doing something right because it's just I don't know. Y'all know life is just it's hard. So no, I've mentioned before, I'm 43. I've always been a very quiet, shy person. Therefore, also, I think can go hand in hand is being an introvert, um, having a really bad anxiety, especially social anxiety, which I've mentioned before here. Also, have always dealt with depression. And the reason I talk about this is because there's been so many times that I felt alone, even if there's people around, you just can and when you're in that, you can feel alone because you feel like you're the only one that understands it or feels it. So, if I can, like, make even one person, feel like understood or not alone, then I'm happy to share, my own struggles. It's not easy. So, I've always, because of all that, typically, for the most part, just stay to myself. Now I've had friends, like, when I was growing up and everything, um, but I just did, like, a very small amount, is I just didn't feel comfortable with, like, a large group or anything. Um, dealt with a lot of losses as far as, like, losing family members, of course, seeing, like, even, like, with friends I was around, them going through losing family, and some losses were, like, unexpected losses, and that's a whole 'nother thing as far as people. Um, so I am a deep thinker. Am a worrier. When I care about somebody, I care deeply. So if we're friends, like you're more than just my friend, you'd be like my sister, and that's the way I take friendship. At the same time, I feel like because I love so hard, it also caused me to be hurt, and then that puts me back into being protective of myself, my feelings, being guarded. Um, it's hard when you're vulnerable and you feel. I have a lot of emotion and sensitive. I guess some people call it an empath. I have a lot of compassion for people, sympathy. Um, I'm one that I believe in being kind to everyone, no matter whether y'all agree or disagree on anything. Like, it doesn't cost anything to be kind. But I mentioned before, but when we're angry or mean, that takes our energy. So I always try to be kind, and I always have tried to be. Not saying I'm perfect by any means, but I do try to be kind. Through my whole life, I've been around a lot of difficult health situations through family, uh, pretty much all around me without going into all, details. Dealt with my own health stuff. So I'm one to be very appreciative of all the little simple things. Which is another reason, I just like to cut up and be silly when I can because you never know when things are going to change or what tomorrow's going to bring. So I just enjoy the little moments. And if I'm acting silly and I'm enjoying myself, then, you know, that's okay. I don't want to, it's hard for me to not stay in some of those down moments dealing with things, but so I do enjoy those little simple times even more so. So I'm grateful, for those things. And all the things have made me very humble and just appreciate things. I'm also like, a lot of times if we give a lot and you don't get that back, I think that also goes into play with being an introvert because then you don't want to be, again, you don't want to be hurt, and so you just go into that protective mode. So I really don't have friends, so to speak, except for here, which I consider y'all my friends, which I'm sure some people think that's silly, but when you deal with social anxiety and you are an introvert, that's hard. It just is, I guess you can't really understand it unless you are the same way. Um, so yeah, I just, this is my socializing. I'm a very old soul. I act a lot older than what I am, I guess you could say. I was around a lot of elders, I guess you could say, when I was growing up, and old timers, as they call it. And that is my thing. I love the old timers. You can learn a lot from them. They're funny. They have the corny jokes, which I love. And so I've kind of just have always been that way, and I'm drawn to that. And I even told my husband, like, if I ever was like took off somewhere, no need to worry because you'll probably just find me like at like a nursing home chatting up the elders because I don't know, it's just where I feel comfortable and accepted, and typically they're nice and can learn a lot from them. I even like older music. Like, I like all kinds of music, but I've always also been drawn to old music, like the oldies, which I guess a lot of people my age are not, but I guess because I was so used to that around me that it is almost like comforting to me. Gosh, I realize I do sound so boring, but it is just who I am. I mean, I'd like to think I can be fun to be around. I don't know, maybe I'm not. Let's see what else. So I married young. Went straight from my parents' house into being a wife. And then wasn't that long later, we were expecting our first child and going through all the parenthood things. That also has ups and downs, as we all know. And for different reasons, I was a stay-at-home mom. Um, it was a blessing to me because I wanted nothing more than to just be with my kids. I have two children. They are both grown now. And this is how that peeling, it comes off like just in a like that. So much easier than me having to clean it up with my polish remover. And like the anxiety and health things also kind of went into play with that as well. So there was a lot of things. I mean, we all go through things in life, but um, again, does make you appreciate when everything is calm and peaceful, right? And if you're curious, I am still married to the same man. Let's see. I've always enjoyed painting my nails. Now, of course, when the kids were little, I didn't always get to as much as I would have liked to. And this is the peel-off base I've been using. Manuology's white peel-off base, P151, and they also have a black one. I don't have that one just because I felt like I could uh, use any color over this one more so than the black. So I'm just going to start applying this while I'm chatting. So yeah, my kids were my focus for many, many, many years, all their lives. So till I mean, even now, um, love my children dearly as most all of us moms do. I'm a big family person. I think family is like the most important thing in this life. I did not have a career, and I'm trying to just kind of think of things as I'm sitting, like as things come to me. So if I start jumping around, it's because my brain is all over the place. So let's see. Okay, so the kids uh, got grown, um, and so I was able to get back into, painting my nails and stuff more often. And years ago, when my daughter was little, they had come out with like it was just a cheap little stamping kit, and that was my first experience of being around, like ever seeing a nail stamping kit. And so we got it to work, but it was kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. But it was like they were real sharp, like it had like sharp materials. And so that's when she was little. So like I said, didn't get to stay in it just because I was, doing a lot of the things. So then, like I said, when they got grown, I was getting back into paint my nails and everything. And I started seeing videos of like nail stamping and stuff. So I was trying to figure, I wasn't familiar with any of the brands that carried it. So I was just kind of kept watching a lot of videos, trying to find any in store. Cause that was me. I was that type. Like, I guess I could go into being an old soul. I didn't like purchasing online. I wanted to be able to walk in a store and just get what I want. You remember those days? Yeah. So I started like kind of searching for a nail stamping kit, and the only thing I could come up with in store was at a Sally's. And it was not a Sally specific brand, but they sold it there. So I got it. Um, I was super excited, and did what I was supposed to do, and it didn't work. And I was like, this is a bummer. So I kept trying to figure out what to do to get it to work. Anyway, what starts popping up everywhere? Maniology videos. So, of course, I'd watch them, but then I was like, "No, I don't wanna order." And so my for my birthday, my mother-in-law had gifted me an Amazon card, and I saw that they sold Maniology products on there, and I was like, "Well, I really, really wanna try." And I told myself, "Okay, if I get this and it doesn't work, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm done." 'Cause, I didn't wanna waste money and all that sort of a thing. And so, whenever it got here, I did all the things that it said to do, and I was like, "I cannot wait to try it." And so, got to got to try it, and guess what? It worked the first time. I was like, "Oh my gosh," I was so excited and shocked, but just because the other one didn't work. So I was super excited. So what happens? Yep, we go down that rabbit hole and we gotta have it all, and we're like, wanting to get all the different plates and colors. So excuse me, I was really excited and never would have really thought I would actually do a YouTube channel because for all the reasons I mentioned earlier, um, it just was like so out of my box. So whenever I got to be a Maniology ambassador, I thought at the time I knew like because of the people I watched the nail channels, they had channels and they were an ambassador. And so I thought, oh, okay, so I need to have a channel. Now I've realized you don't. You can just use like other socials like Instagram or TikTok, Facebook, whatever, and just post pictures. So it was a huge learning curve for me to try to figure out how to do all the things, set it all up. I didn't know I was like, I felt like a dinosaur trying to learn. So yeah, I started the channel. Um, I've had to do a few different upgrades in between then and now. That's a part of just learning it. Um, I have chosen not to do any editing because one main thing is I don't know how. As silly as that sounds, I don't. It's out of my area of expertise. And also a lot of people that I've come to find out seems that they have to edit. It's like takes them 2 and 3 times longer to edit than it does to do the actual video. Now, if you're like a vlogger, I'm sure you would have to learn how to do it because there'd be so too much going into that. But just for what I'm doing and the way I have my setup, um, if I make a mistake or something, it's just in there. Um, so Also, I do have it to where I can pause, and to me, that makes the biggest difference because if I have somebody that needs to talk to me, if my phone's going off, my dogs are barking or whatever, I can just pause it, and then when everything's, you know, quiet again or calm down, I can unpause it and just pick up where I left off. But other than that, I don't, everything just gets left in. Um, so yeah, I have really enjoyed doing this. This is my thing. Took me 43 years to find my thing, but this is it, and it's exciting because I felt like I didn't even really know since the kids got grown, what was I gonna do with myself? Who am I? Like, and it's this, and I put a lot of me into it as far as, I put my extra energy that I do have into, the channel, and I put a lot of thoughts and feelings, and it's like having a new baby. This is my new baby, and I'm here for it. I love it. I've really, really, really enjoyed getting to know all of you and reading your comments, and that's like my highlight of every single day is outside of my family is reading the comments and hanging out with you. So, I don't know, is there anything else to know? Can't really think of anything else. Like I said, kind of boring, not too much interesting things going on. So, this is me, friends. Um, so this is where I'm at with the prepping. I'm gonna have to let this dry. And it takes some time, kind of like sometimes it varies. I don't know what makes a difference. Maybe the temperature in the room, but it does take some time. So I have to let this dry, and then I'll paint my base color on top of it and um, get ready for my nail stamping video. So I hope you enjoyed getting to know me, and I greatly appreciate you watching. Thank you so very much. And until the next one, have a blessed day. Bye.